Alright everyone, for those of you who are not yet on Gab, you need to get on Gab. I realize that requires an actual invite code. I don't have one to give you, but like they keep spitting out sporadically invite codes, and I would beg the people at Gab, scrap the idea of an invite-only system. Long term, you need to be able to compete with Twitter more directly. You're not going to be able to do that. I realize you get attacked by bots and that the lamestream media uses those attacks to try to justify hit pieces on Gab. I realize that, but ultimately the opportunity is eventually going to be lost to you to become truly a major player on the tech stage if you stay invite only. It's just not feasible at this point in time. They're developing a sub sort of routine here called Dissenter. It's going to be like an extension, an app. I guess you put it on your phone or there'll be a desktop version. What this will do is allow you through your Gab account to comment on any article on the internet that you want. Like you can add a site, you can load the site through the app. I guess it stores a version of it or something, like archives it probably. And then you can comment using your account. So it'll be like Discuss for the entire internet, and it'll be only censored to Gab standards, which is basically, unless you're doing something illegal under US law, it's perfectly fine. I like this idea. I think it's great. It's long overdue, and they said, what was it, Stumble Upon, which I actually had alluded to, but I couldn't remember the name of it. That was sort of a similar idea. The idea behind Gab's commenting system is you'll be able to add pages with that system. So you go to the page with the app open, it'll load that extra comment section, number one. And number two, if you want to sort of search around for interesting content, you'll be able to also basically shuffle pages and it'll take you to these different pages. Possibly exploitable, but an interesting idea. It's an extra functionality. You'll also be able to rate not just the comments, but I believe the articles themselves. I think it's a great idea. It'll become if it's successful, if they manage to successfully brand it, spread it to as enough people, it will become the commenting function of the internet. What we've seen over the last half decade or so is that it starts way before the 2016 election. That's basically the scapegoat for all the changes to the tech world that were already started several years prior. Let's not fool ourselves. What's happened is that commenting functions, because comment areas can become quote-unquote toxic, which to me just means that they're interesting. It means it's a hellstorm of trolls and flamers, and I love it because, you know, I'm used to that sort of generation of the internet. I love it. I think it's great. Because of that fact, all the lamestream sites started, you know, basically shutting off their comments or moderating them heavily, censoring them. Like I can remember CNN. It used to be that the CNN.com was actually a really fun news site 5 years ago, because the comments were almost always open. They were only sporadically moderated. Like, it took a lot to get banned. Your Discuss account or Facebook linked account. You could make, you know, multiple accounts anyway. And so you'd go there and you'd have a good time. You'd be looking at the comments. You'd try to comment early and say something off the wall so it would get to the top. And they realized this was happening. Fox News closed down its commenting section 6 months prior. CNN started selecting like articles that they thought would get trolled. They started shutting off comments, and it's really kind of greasy and slimy, because really it was a bunch of people telling them that the site sucked, their news was fake, they were propaganda, and this was before the Trump election, which is why they want to gaslight people now and pretend it's all about stopping online bigotry in the wake of Trump. This is Trump's America. Well, no, it's not. It was America to begin with in every other fucking country. And that's what they don't want you to realize. If you're newer to the internet, they want you to think that everything was squeaky clean until those evil populists showed up. It's really quite funny. It's also really quite fucking a lie. So what you've got now is Gab deploying this. You know, why do you think they want to shut down Gab so badly, and they constantly write hit pieces about them, and they ramble and whine endlessly? Like, if you pay attention to like the Will Summers and Holtz and stuff on left-wing Twitter, you see a never-ending stream of fucking salt from these people with regards to the fact that Gab even exists. And on the one hand, they say, well, it's basically the organizing place for armies of evil Nazis, and they say terrible things, and they hate everyone. But at the same time, they try to deride them and say, well, they don't have that many actual users. It's like a ghost town and shit, which is not true. So it can't both be true. And then they release this. Now you watch. What'll happen is it'll be a slow rollout, like not a huge number of people use it at first, and they'll laugh about it. And then it'll start to get bigger and bigger because people realize it's fun and it's functional. Hey, I can comment on CNN articles, especially among a crowd of people that'll tend to be the edgy side of the internet at first. I can comment on these YouTube channels that are getting their comment sections removed. I can comment on Fox articles and tell them, you know, to fuck themselves. I can comment on anything that I want all over the internet, even where comments are totally absent. Wow, this is great. I can, trust me, what'll end up happening. You get like these viral stories, like you know, police brutality or some government corruption or something. All the lamestream media, they lock down the comments because people start saying edgy shit. Gab will be there. Dissenter will be there on that same article. That's where the fun will be. Yeah, you'll definitely want a Gab account, but what I would say to Gab, you need to go beyond invite-only mode, or at the very least, you need to make it far easier for people to, like, you know, get links. Like, what about give larger users, like, a more permanent link that lasts, like, a week or something? Help to slow the bots down. That way I can, like, you know, share it out to my fans and stuff here, on YouTube or anywhere else you happen to be watching, put it on BitChute and everything else, and just sort of go through, like, maybe weekends. I think the links they're giving out expire within 24 hours or something. Or like within only a few hours. I haven't actually managed to snag one and test it yet. You need to have a better system because Gab has plenty of room to grow. It's still technically even though it's a larger site, like by all tech standards, it's getting pretty large. And it's certainly got disproportionate fucking fame and power, even if half of the articles about it are abjectly wrong hit pieces. That being said, it has infinite room for growth. It's still very small compared to its main competitor, which is Twitter. Twitter's hemorrhaging users. Gab just needs to get on board with making itself. It needs to advertise the fact that it exists. You got to realize 99% of people don't know it exists yet. Well, it's got a good domain. It's got this new app that it's developing that sounds extremely intriguing. Will probably eclipse Gab itself if Gab stays invite only. It'd probably be used even more. It'd be interesting. Should be totally separate, I mean, as a function. What about releasing? I don't know. Is it even in the plans? Maybe you don't have to have a Gab account. It'll be sort of semi-separate or something. It's just made by the same developers. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, having a free speech comment area on any article on the internet that you want is a wonderful. And then, you know, people who have large audiences, we could then share out that, you know, for people who are using the app, share it out to other people on other platforms, and then they can join in the conversation. I think it'd be great. This would be highly protective, like these people that are getting their YouTube comment areas fucked with. You should definitely get a Gab account. You know, you should probably just like contact directly and be like, look, you know, I got a big audience. Can I have like my own link here so I can sign up? You should do that. Get them on board there. They make their Gab, then they tell everyone about it. All of a sudden, you know, a week from now, there's 100,000 more people using the platform. Then you get this, and you're like, oh yeah, comments restored. Yeah, they're there. You know, we'll let Gab moderate them for creepos and stuff like that, because they'll probably be willing to do it on like YouTube, which is really funny at this point. I strongly support this idea. I'll definitely be using this service when it comes out. I think it sounds like a great idea. That's about all. Peace out.